A lot of tribes, the Lion of Kerala, like that name we are providing to Veera Raja, is one of the great freedom fighter from Kerala. Let's we go to know about the unsung hero Veera Raja. Veera Raja, Kerala Verma, who fought against the onslaught of the Muslims first and then against the British East India Company to hold aloft the banner of Dharma and Deshabhakti is one of the less known freedom fighters of India. Perhaps many of the so-called historians of our country do not know that half a century before the renowned First War of Indian independence in the year 1857, in the distant Malabar, a great patriot and hero challenged the might of the British and with his remarkable skill in guerrilla warfare proved himself to be conquerable even to the famous Colonel Arthur Wellesley, who later became the Duke of Wellington and defeated the great Napoleon Bonaparte. The Duke himself had recorded that it was during his confrontation with Pazalachi in Malabar that he learned the techniques of guerrilla warfare, which he later adopted against the great Napoleon Bonaparte. True, Pazalachi was a ruler of a pretty kingdom known as Kottayam Swarapum in the North Malabar. He was left respecting patriot and beloved lord of the tribal people like Rana Pratap. He renounced all royal places and comfort and hiding himself inside the dense forest of Vayapadu carried on his unequal fight the British for a period of 12 long years. In 1761, Hyder Ali, a powerful military officer under the Maharaja of Mysore, spurred all power of the state and declared himself the Nawab to gratify his ambition to build up an empire in the south. He swept across Malabar in 1766, knowing fully well that unless he won over the local Muslims, it was not an easy job for him to defeat the rulers of Malabar and march up to Travancore. He started a campaign of wooing the Muslims in the name of religion, setting them against the powerful Nayars and indulging in forcible conversion of Hindus into Muslims. Thus, once for all, he destroyed the peaceful coexistence of Hindus and Muslims of Malabar and perpetrated a British Brutus manhunt in the name of faith. Tipu Sultan, who succeeded Hyder Ali to the throne of Mysore, followed the footsteps of his father and seized the campaign against Hinduism in Malabar in 1788. Tipu Sultan commenced his Operation Malabar. Hundreds of Hindus were forcibly converted to Islam. Those who resisted the move were mercilessly butchered. Many of the petty kings and rulers of Malabar, along with about 30,000 Hindu families, fled to Travancore. The ruler of Nilabur, Chitrakal, and Parapanadu helplessly embraced Islam. Scores of Hindu temples were demolished. Among the few kings who faced the great with exceptional and explosive allure and firm determination was Pazalachi. Diplomat as he was, Pazalachi decided to take over one throne with the help of another. He decided to seek the alliance of British East India Company, who were the sworn enemies of Mysore ever since the days of Hyder Ali. The British were viewing the annexed the growing power of the Mysore kingdom in their bid to root of Tipu Sultan, who emerged as their mighty rival in the south. The Britishers also solicited the help and cooperation of the kings of Malabar in his separate communication dated 8 and June 1, 1790. The Governor General Lord Cornwallis assured the kings that once their territories were retrieved from Tipu Sultan, they would be hanged back to their respective kings. On this specific understanding, Palesira extended invaluable help to the British in their fight against Tipu. After a number of battles in different places, the British and Tipu Sultan entered into two territories, and February 22, March 18, 1792, all the forces of Tipu in the Malabar War surrendered to the company, having gained vested interest in Malabar. The company decided to hand over the territories only to those who would be loyal to them and pay regular tributes. They had no doubt that all the freedom of being violent and self-respecting ruler like Palesiraja would never subject himself to the sovereignty of the company. Hence, they made over the territories which duly belonged to Kottayam Swarapam to the king of Kumbranad, who was Palasiraja's uncle and who claimed the territories, promising the British that he would be loyal to them. The trial enraged the brave king Palasiraja, and he once for all pledged to prod the British rule from the soil of his motherland. He refused to submit to the authority of the company and forcibly prevented the Raja of Kurumrad from collecting revenue for the company from the areas which belongs to Kottayam Swarapam. For about 1 year, the company had suspended its revenue collection because of Palasi Raja's opposition. In the mid of 1793, when the apprehended a new retreat from Tipu Sultan, the company felt it to be unwise to keep a powerful ruler like Palasi as the enemy. It came to the terms with them, allowing him the possession of the territories which duly belonged to. But again, in the beginning of 1794, when the company supervisor William Government Fomo was placed by Stephen, the territory were again made cover to the Raja of Kurumrana by the company, but Palasi Raja was the link of the people of Kona and Swarapum, and he boldly declared that he would not allow Raja of Kumar or his British masters to collect a single pie from his people. The British now came to the decision it is well dangerous to allow such a rebel to remain free. They planned to storm the Palasi fort and capture him, but the skillful rebels received information about the secret plan of the British through his spies. On April 1796, a force of 300 soldiers, a company led by James Dorman, secretly marched from territory towards Palasi. At dead of night, when in the early morning they surrendered the fort and captured it, they were amazed to know that Palasiraja escaped alone with his family 4 days earlier itself. It is heading into the dense forest of Wayanad. Palasiraja made Purlimala fort his capital when the British effort to capture and subject his fell. The company entered into the treaty with him on the basis of which the king returned to Palasi fort in July 1796. But the peace of settlement when Palasi found that the British had not given up their design to subject him, he again moved back into the jungle of Wayanad along with his treacherous Lieutenant and follower on December 18, 1796. The company issued a proclamation threatening the people of Kottayam of dire consequence if they help their king in any manner. And a ruler battle commenced between the forces of Palazi and the company from January 7, 1797 in about the 100 confrontation with the well-trained guerrilla forts of Palazi Raja. The British soldiers suffered crushing defeat. Many of the talented British military officers fell dead in the battlefield. Finally, the British forces withdrew from the Wayanad forces to the plains. The company helplessly defeated the Bombay governor Duncan and generals started to settle the issue in Malabar. They sent the king of Shrigal and Harapanadu, the big businessman named Devadas Bandari, to Prasiraja as their emissaries to hold conciliation talks with him. July 23, 1797 is icons, and their agreement with the king of Permanad. The company also agreed to pay annual grant of rupees 8,000 to policy. Hence, with the Secretary Kerala Verma returned to policy port again. It's 1799, during the last Mysore War, when Tipu Sultan died in Srinagarpatnam, the British claimed possession of the Malabar held Sultan. They included Wayanad also among the territories. Palasi Raja, who was remained peaceful for the last 2 years, was again enranged. He strengthened his hold on Wayanad by setting up military camps against led to tractable with the British. This time, the king decided to settle an issue with foreigners once for all. With a firm determination, he organized a powerful force of Kurumbas and Kurchias tribal communities which were experts in the art of guerrilla warfare. Besides these brave Nair warriors along with the plus Muslims. It is an incredible fact in the history of Kerala that was the who actually fought against the onslaught of Tipu Sultan did enjoy the respect and regard of so prominent Pula Muslims chieftains of Malabar who is inspiring personality, the novelist character who were to compelling to desert him even in time of his distress beside violent Sankara Nambia, H.V. Bunayar and Kurchia leader Kalaikal Chandu, the leader of the Muslim Unnimatu Mupan, was also a devout follower of Palasi Raja. All of them were warriors of famous quality. Palasi Raja himself trained his soldiers in war for East India Company. Soon realized that Raja was inaudible to hold down the only force. The Governor General, the British Colonel, actual valleys to Malabar to tackle Raja. While LSE was busy with the massive preparation to capture the province surrounding Wayanad, and huge army policies came back to the plain during the rainy season of on June 1800, and with the help of Muslim warriors, defense of North Malabar inflicted several depends upon the force of Leslie at Kanavaran, Kutub, Ambu, Manatla. Another Muslim chieftains, Manjari Alman Gurukal, also reached from Ernadu to help Palasi in the beginning. Another strong force led by Colonel Stevenson also reached Malabar from Mysore to help the operation against Palasi. Thought it was an equal fight of a tribal army only with traditional weapons like spears, bow, and arrows arrayed against the British army equipped with cannon and guns. The company did suffer heavy defeat in many places. The soldiers of Palestine themselves behind trees and bushes impressed forests, and the British marched across the world. Homer sprung them before the latter could even lift their guns and finish of battalion of British army. Of course, policy also suffered great loss in this battle. In November 18 1. Policy chief commander Kanawat Sinkaramabir was captured by hanged by British policy soldiers led by Nakunkan and Kalekal Chandu against by ruthlessly destroyed the company's forces. Annamaram and Valurka gradually. Palasiraja gained control over the entire Wayanadu area. It was in such critical condition that Thomas Harvey Bober, as the new sub-collector of things, took over the charge of military operation against Palasiraja. November 1, 1804, battle in the West Vatican Kingdom. The right hand man of Palasiraja confronted British forces near Pulpali. Victory was nearing him, fat willing, otherwise his weapon slipped down from his hand while he was in the battlefield. The unarmed but brave and daring captain of the British forces was taken prisoner by the British. It was ended a severe blow to Palasi Raja. The king did not lose heart. The fight continues. Now the British realized that it was impossible to capture Lion by using force alone. They went to trap him cunningly. Palasi Raja was at the time in Pulipal fort. One of the followers of Palasi Raja was Coconut Pilla Nair, as chief man of Pulipal. Bober succeeded in winning over friendship of the Chaffetson and promised for him and his succeed generation to the rulership of Pulipali and Purakadi, beside many of God's to return for his help to capturing Palasi Raja. Thus, the scene for the great betrayal of Velset. Less fraternal ingratitude has been and on this motherland is many time the case of victory of enemies of Mother Bharat. In the month of November, it was a period of Sons Mandal Pratha by the king through his glorious tradition Palace Raja, presenting before his family deity Kali Bhagavati took the vow for the observance of the Vrata for 14 days. During this period, the Raja could not touch any weapon and had to practice all statistic. Here was the opportunity movement for the enemies of the Raja to trap him. Kapatodam Mupil Nair sent word to Robert his location to secret hideout of the great patriot and hero. With a small contingent of 150 soldiers, Babur moved towards Pali under the while the darkness of the night and the dawn surrounded the place where the Raja was chilling. At that moment, his trusted lieutenant was the Raja when convinced of the British forces led by Bob. Nearing the camp, he unseated his sword to protect his life belonging, but Palasiraja prevented him from using it. Kungan, we are not alone also. We will not cause blood, but leave us and escape once the king ordered. But Kunan was hesitating. The Raja then commanded him eat, and I think this is why we order you to escape from here at once. We will not touch sword and also would not allow bloodshed to break our war. It is that of Porkali Bhagavati that we should leave our task unfinished, but surely her blessings will be with you and succeed in your successful mission. Now go away at once. With tearful eyes, Hanuman left the king and escaped from the. By then, the British force entered the camp and Pulakara, the clerk of the company, who had come with about the capture of the lion when he saw one of his countrymen is the service of foreign aggressor. His Raja's eye imitated fire. Don't come near us to touch. He pushed at Pranakara Mena and Uber. They both stood at a distance, dumbfounded for a moment before they could release with this happening. The Raja removed his diamond ring from his finger, struck it against a piece of rock, removed diamond with his sword. Shortly afterwards, the poison sealed in glitter water supported from the body of the matchless hero who had more than this decade was a nightmare to the British. Even the British officer Robert could not resist the pull of the consistent bow. His head, in honor of the incompetent warrior, he ordered the body be taken Untawadi in the Palanquin and cremated there with all Hindu rites and honor due to the king. It is not what he had even mentioned in his report that the East Company British force had surrendered to the native Palestinians. We would have rung the death bell of the British in India. The historian has mostly forget the great hero and martyr of India's freedom movement, but the glory of meeting him who was also a patron of art and letter, promoted the traditional art of Takata in Kerala, still some folk song and repeated in the folk dance of Wayanad and Pulpalli. He thus remain and will ever remain the mind of people of Kerala and immortal hero Kerala Simham, the lion of Kerala, not other than Veera Palesiraja. Let me give salute to like this unsung heroes. Thank you for listening.